So I've gone from hitting 0 podiums to 2 podiums in a row now. And this one is a little bit criminal. Someone would say criminal. I'd personally say strategic. But yeah, I've hit it with 315 points. I need to check what division this is. So this is Champion in Season Rare. I've won 47 quid as it stands, as you can see there. Sadly, Fulham did concede 3, so obviously Leno's done terrible. The rest of the team did quite good though, so that made up for the low score from Leno. I got the captain wrong. Spurs have been a bit weird lately, and Maddison a little bit out of form. A little bit weird as well. Maddison keeps getting subbed off early, which is a little bit worrying for my weekend lineups. But yeah, my lineups this week have been a little bit of a mess in terms of the midweek, apart from my under 23 rare. Cole Palmer. Do you know what I've been doing? And I've been tossing and turning. With the money I earned last week, I was so tempted to impulse buy the in-season Cole Palmer. But for once, I've not impulsed. And it doesn't fully make sense for my gallery. As good as Cole Palmer is, I absolutely love him as a Chelsea fan as well. It doesn't really make sense for my gallery because there's 7 games of the Premier League left, and having another one, I just don't have good enough players around another Palmer basically. So yeah, this is my under 23 rare. It looks like I'm going to win maybe a tier 2, possibly drop out of tier 2. I think I'm going to win a tier 3. Sadly, Jackson didn't do too much against Man U, and Van Hecken, a clean sheet, didn't do too much either. Yeah, my rest of my lineups are looking an absolute mess. Petrovic conceding 3. Caicedo was awful. That's the worst I've seen Caicedo in a Chelsea shirt, especially for a while, sadly. We finished 41st there, by the way, and it pays down to 40, so that's a bit painful. But yeah, so I've made about 50 quid, I think, plus a tier 2 rare, so another podium, love that. But this video is going to be around this week's lineups. Now, this weekend is a tough one because Emi Martinez out ill in the midweek. Thankfully, it didn't really cost me because that lineup was a bit of a throwaway. But for the weekend, he was and is going to be my main prioritised lineup. So my Division 1 in season Premier League, we're going with Emi Martinez. I think I'm going to stack him with Konsa at home to Brentford. And then obviously Captain Cole Palmer. Jackson, he's been letting me down a little bit too much recently, so I've been debating whether to put Brennan Johnson in. And I've got the in-season James Maddison as well, who I've also been... I could put McGinn in here. McGinn's back from his suspension. I could put Brennan Johnson in here. I've got a few options. Obviously, my Burnley stack's there. I've put my Burnley stack in, which surprisingly, these have actually been doing quite well. Muric, I bought in Vitinho, a little bit of a risk, because I've been going with Esteve, who scores terrible anyway. But I really like Vitinho. I think he's been playing quite well recently. So I've brought in Vitinho, Cullen, Larson and Berger. Larson's on a lot of set pieces for Burnley. So yeah, I'm hoping he starts. I think he will because he scored a real good goal last game. That's going in Division 3. And then just under my webcam, I'll slide it over across. My other Premier League in season... Is it third time lucky? I think it's third time lucky. Fulham stack's been a little bit painful since the new update, but hopefully at home they're a little bit better. At home to Newcastle, so it's still not the easiest of games. But I've got Leno, Bassey and Tosin, so I've got that Fulham stack. And then I've got McGinn as captain and Brennan Johnson. So there's a couple players in here that I keep tossing and turning. And let me know what you guys think if you're watching this before the deadline. Would you guys put McGinn over maybe Maddison in my prioritised lineup? It's just Spurs are at home to Forest, which I know seems a really good fixture, but it's actually not that good of a fixture, I don't think. Because Forest are actually playing quite well at the minute. They're fighting for their lives because they're trying to stay in the league. And Spurs are, they're not playing that great. They're not playing that great football. And Maddison keeps getting subbed off early, so I've got all these factors. But it does feel criminal, especially when you go to Sorare data. If I go to extra, look at some of the AAA matchups I've got. Look, I've got Palmer as my AAA, Maddison AAA, so they're my 2 AAAs, so it feels hard. It really feels hard to drop Maddison. But that's going to be my prioritised Premier League in seasons. I really enjoy them. I think there's some low scores in there, and there's definitely a bit of a strategy if you're in a lower division as well. I mean, you guys could see I've podiumed again with quite a low score. This is a throwaway. I don't have a keeper, and yeah, I just whacked the Brighton boys because they're at home to Arsenal. I don't expect much. My Chelsea in season, I did have Caicedo in here, but I don't know if he'll play on the weekend because he was poor, really poor against Man U. So I've gone with Petrovic, Gusto, Palmer, Jackson and Willian. Yeah, Palmer captain. I've lost for words. I'm lost for words with him. I'm lost for words for Cole Palmer. Crazy. He's nearly top goal scorer in the Premier League. It's mad. Then I got my Brighton stack. This time I have gone with Esteve. I don't think I own Vitinho, but I've gone with Esteve in this lineup. Muric, Esteve, Cullen. We've gone with Larson captain again. And Berger. So, yeah, the Brighton stack, they're away to Everton. That is like a cup final, by the way. Absolute cup final to stay in the league. That could factor whether Burnley stay up or go down. And I'm mixed feelings because I kind of want Burnley to go down because it'll make my stack probably better in the Championship. But at the same time, obviously, I want my lineups to do well. So it's a bit of a win-win. If they lose, then happy days. But yeah, and then this is a throwaway as well because Trafford's obviously dropped. And I couldn't really find any places for these limiteds. So whack them there. So they're my Premier League teams. My champion. See, last weekend I mentioned champions is very competitive. Very competitive. I got 420 points with my Interstack. They're banged. I got 2 level ups. I didn't even get a card. I got 2 level ups for 420 points, and that was a little bit tough to take. So I was questioning whether I go in champion. So I've obviously got my Interstack because I have nowhere else to put my Interstack. I've questioned whether to sell it or not. I'm not too sure. I might still sell it, I'm not sure. But they've got a decent fixture at Udinese. So I've got this in my classic season, Division 1. Competitive though. 357 people, you guys can't see. 357 people giving out 36 cards. Now the boxes are hit and miss. They're very, very luck-based, aren't they? I got 2 level ups in mine. But other people have got some decent stuff. So, I don't know, maybe the boxes will be decent, but if I'm hitting 400 points consistently and getting level ups, I can't be asked for that. I don't want level ups for 400 points. I don't put all my money in for level ups really. So yeah, my Interstack's in Division 1. My Division 2, I actually bought this keeper. I don't know if it's a smart decision, but I needed another champ keeper. These have got alright fixtures towards the back end of the season. Mines, I think that's how you say it. And he, yeah, hopefully he does well. And then I've put the leftovers that I had left. So Pavard, Mkhitaryan, Paco and Giroud. So my outfielders have got some decent matchups, to be fair. And then my in-season Prem, I don't know what to think of this really. I've got spare Muric. I'll put Muric in here again. Malo Gusto, I've put him in here. So that's another card that I could move. I absolutely love Malo Gusto. And I probably will move him. I'm not going to lie, I built this before the Chelsea game and I thought Malo Gusto was injured, so I put him down a division, but he might go my prioritised lineup. I'm not sure. Gibbs White, I really want to put Gibbs White in a better team. I honestly think he'll score against Spurs, score or assist, because he's on fire at the minute. And like I said, Forest are playing really well, so if Forest do well, usually Gibbs White does well. He's been insane. What a purchase. I got him for like 25 quid a few weeks ago and he's gone up quite a lot. Maybe I should sell him, I don't know. But away to Spurs, then we've got Neomar and Singo. So who knows with that team. I don't know. But that's my champion teams. My challenger, these are my limiteds. These are my Norwich boys. I think they've got a tough game. They're at home to Ipswich this week. So my prioritised one, I've actually whacked Begovic in goal because they've got a really good fixture, just in case Norwich don't keep a clean sheet. And then I've gone Stacey, Sarah, Sargent and Borges Signs. My other Norwich stack is just the leftovers, so we've obviously got Gunn in goal this time. Gibson, McLean, Barnes and Nunes. That's in Division 2. I've gone with an in-season Division 5 because, again, you guys have seen it's sometimes just crazy low scoring. So these are all my leftovers. I've always had this Stoke keeper, so Stoke have got an alright matchup as well, I believe. They've got West Brom, so not too bad. My leftover Norwich boys have got Sorare from my Burnley stack. He's playing for Hull. And then I won this guy's a reward, so Division 5, can't go wrong. And then my classic seasons, just again, I probably should sell this Galaxy stack, to be honest, because I don't really use them too seriously. But I've whacked Callum Doyle in that as well, my super rare. I just have nowhere to put him other than that limited stack. And then the rest of it, we've got an under 23. Don't know what to think of this. Look how many hard matchups I've got. Lemens is in goal now for Antwerp. They're playing Genk. Gertrude's playing Ajax. Stoikers is away to Mechelen. Xerxes away to Frosinone. I think that's a decent matchup. And then I've whacked Stiller in there away to Dortmund. So, if that team does anything, then I'll hit the jackpot, because some very tough matchups. And then my remaining capped looks an absolute mess. So these are just the bottom junk. I didn't really want to go with Trubin because he's away to Sporting. Don't love that matchup. Badiashile, if he starts and plays, he's not been that great. I used to love Badiashile when he first came to Chelsea, but he's not looked too good. He's quite error prone at the minute since his injury. So, but he's away to Sheffield, so who knows. El Canous is away to Antwerp, tough. Alanga's away to Spurs, tough. And Clarkson can't score. I would score to save his life. So, it's just junk here. It's just junk. Yeah. Nazauta, Esteve, Mudryk, Sorare and Caicedo. And then that's my Cap 240 limited. So, they're my lineups for this weekend. I really like my Division 1. It's just I've got a few. It's not as easy as last week's. Last week's it picked itself. I didn't have to overthink any player really. But this week I have got a few hiccups. He can easily score shit Conser. Easily. So, like I've said in the past, because he plays right back, he just doesn't get the best day here. I could easily put Malo Gusto in there. And that's what I would have done originally, and I probably might. I just hope he'll play 90 minutes. And then obviously I could put McGinn in here. Like Aston Villa at home, McGinn's just back from suspension. He's been nicely rested. He's hungry. He's got that beefy body. What's stopping him from scoring an 80 plus? Palmer we don't even need to question. When you've got players you just don't need to question, it's just beautiful. And Emi Martinez, he's another. He better not be ill, because he was ill. And Olsen was actually quite good. So, yeah, they're my lineups anyway. I don't know what I'm going to go with. If you guys have got any suggestions, do let me know. Hopefully you guys have a good game week. And, let's hope. The way it's going, at least in season anyway, I'm loving the in season, because you can easily win some, like, good amounts of money with quite reasonable scores. That's in season. So next season, I don't know if I want to play much Classic next season. So I might have to start selling off some cards within the next few weeks. But yeah, we'll see. Anyway, hopefully you guys have enjoyed. And I will catch you guys in the next one. Goodbye.